What's up, PMP? You got PokeAim here, and today I have an NU match versus No Blues. I found him on Pokemon Showdown while I was laddering in NU, and the team that I'm using was created by me and my boy Dangerous36M, or Rick, the guy who's not dead. And I'm just going to explain our team a little bit before we get into the match. So I have a Shell Smashing Rapid Spinning Torkoal. Basically, this Torkoal sets up Shell Smashes versus Pokemon that it forces out. And people normally go into their spin blockers, which of course are Ghost types. And after a Shell Smash, this thing beats all the Ghost types of NU, and then it can freely Rapid Spin once it knocks them out. And next I do have a Focus Sash Pincer. This pincer works really well with the Rapid Spin support from Torkoal. It does normally get 1 or 2 kills just because of the Focus Sash. Special Offensive Seismitoad just to take on the electric types in NU, or the electric moves rather, and also to get up my Stealth Rocks and resist water attacks because of Water Absorb. Defensive Sword Dancing Mawile, which of course does take on the birds. Defensive Calm Mind Duosion to take fighting hits, and a Scarf Ditto to just pretty much take my opponent's Pokemon when they try and set up, and of course copy them and have a Scarf, so I outspeed them in Revenge Kill. And looking at my opponent's team, the threats that he obviously does have are Emboar, because that thing just hits hard with a Choice Band or even a Choice Scarf. It still hits hard. Golurk, but I'm thinking that Golurk won't be too much of a problem just because I can set up a Shell Smash with my Rapid Spinning Torkoal and more than likely force him into that and then knock him out with Fire Blast. That Rotom Fridge might be a problem, but I know that Seismitoad does take it on rather well. Bastiodon is not a problem. I have plenty of Pokemon that can set up on it, mainly my Duosion and my Mawile, since Bastiodon just mostly relies on hazards and roar. I'm not too scared about Musharna because I do have Pinscher to take it on, and also my Duosion because it does pack Psy Shock and Signal Beam, so it takes it on. Even if we both get up to +6, I still beat it. And Mawile, of course, beats it because it does resist the moves that it packs, and also Ditto can just copy it. And the catcher may or may not be a problem depending on if it's running Drain Punch or not, but I do have Mawile to take it on, or take on its dual stab. And yeah, so let's actually get into this match. And keep in mind that it's kind of late at night when I'm narrating this, so I apologize if I ever stop talking. Either way, my opponent's gonna be leading off with his cactus, and I'm bleeding off my side, so definitely gonna have to get out of there. I'm gonna go into my Ditto just to scout what his moveset is. It turns out to be Spike, Sword Dance, C-Bomb, and Sucker Punch, so I know that I do wall him, so I'm actually gonna go for his first layer spikes, my first layer spikes, technically predicting him to want to switch out as he ends up going out to his Emboar, because I do have Seismitoad and Torkoal to resist the Flare Blitz. I'm pretty sure he's going to want to go for the Superpower, so I'm going to go onto my Duosion just to take that. Then I'm going to go for the Signal Beam just in case he tries to be greedy and goes back out into his Cacturne and trying to get up another free layer spikes on my predicted Psychic type attack. He ends up going out to his Bastiodon. I'm going to see this as my opportunity to get up my Stealth Rock, since I'm pretty sure he's just going to get up his, so I can go for the Stealth Rocks with my Seismitoad, as he actually is going to end up switching out into his Rotom Frost. Now, I thought the only reason that he would do this was because he wanted to trick me, since Rotom Frost generally can't touch me unless he's running Hidden Power Grass, and even then it won't KO me. So I'm actually going to use Seismitoad as my trick fodder, just going to get off a Toxic as he does end up tricking me. And I didn't want to switch out because I was pretty sure he would just go for the Volt Switch, even though he does reveal that he has the Will-O-Wisp right here. So he's running Will-O-Wisp, Volt Switch, Hidden Power Ice, I believe, and Trick. So it's a pretty cool set. In either case, I'm actually going to go out into my Ditto just to take the predicted Blizzard, actually, as he ends up going for the Hidden Power Ice. Because this Ditto does pack HP Grass, I'm figuring I should just go for it just to get off some damage, as he is going to end up Volt Switching out into his Emboar. I do not want to predict around this Emboar. If he is banded, Flare Blitz with the Spikes damage will be able to KO everything despite resisting it. So I'm just going to stay in, go for the Hidden Power Grass, even though he does resist it, just to get off some damage on him, as he does end up going for the Flare Blitz, which is perfect for me because now I can go out into my Torkoal and do what this Torkoal does best, which is set up Shell Smashes on the switch into the spin blockers like his Golurk, and then proceed to annihilate the Ghost type with Fire Blast. So he ends up going out to Golurk. Like I was saying, I am going to be able to knock him out with the +2 Fire Blast, and it's looking pretty good. I can actually potentially sweep his team because I know I could take any hit from his Rotom. And it actually turns out he's running 2 Scarfers, so his Emboar and his Rotom was Scarf, so he is able to outspeed me, knocking me out with the Head Smash at the same time, though he's going to go down to the Recoil. Now he's free to go out into his Rotom Frost. I'm just going to go out to my Duosion, figuring he does have a good matchup versus everything but his Cacturne, as he ends up going for the Trick, just giving me leftovers, which isn't necessarily a bad play because now I am weaker because my Eviolite is gone. And this is where I find out that it is Hidden Power Ice, because it does a crap load to my Duosion, and I'm pretty sure it's not fire or anything along those lines. So I am going to go for the Calm Mind. Now, because I know he's going to go down to Poison this turn, I'm just going to go for Recover, as he is going to go for one more Hidden Power, and he does end up going down to Poison, but now he's free to go out into his Bastiodon just to roar me out. I guess he didn't want to go out to Cacturne because I could obviously just switch out into my Mawile just to wall it. So he is going to end up forcing me out with the Roar, not before me getting off some damage with the Psyshock, as he does end up forcing me out into my Seismitoad, and there's a car going outside at 3 a.m. in the morning. Go to sleep, man. But in any case, he doesn't force me out into my Seismitoad. I am just going to go right for the Earth Power, as he ends up going out to Machinima. Now, because he is at almost half HP, I'm pretty sure he's just going to want to go for the Moonlight, so I'm going to switch out into my Pinsir, trying to get the free switch into it, as he does end up going right for the Moonlight. And because this is a Focus Sash Pinsir, I am in a good spot right here. I could go for the X-Scissor. If he switches out into his Bastiodon, I can go for the Earthquake after, but he ends up going for the Psychic. I end up living. Now, because he is, like I said, almost half HP, and after the next X-Scissor, he would be at about 13%. I figured he would go for the Moonlight, so I just ended up going for the SD. It was a pretty good play on my part because I am able to get off a hell of a lot of Machinima before he is able to knock me out with the Psychic. And it was kind of weird that I did 100%, but he still ended up living with like 1 HP. But in any case, now I can go out to Duosion just to finish him off with the Signal Beam, and now he's free to go out to his Bastiodon. Once again, he's not going out into his Cacturne because he just wants to pretty much phase my team and get off more hazard damage on my Mawile before he ends up going out to Cacturne and potentially sweeping. But he ends up going for the Toxic, which is a really weird play. I'm not gonna lie though, a lot of people on Showdown, even high level people or high ranking people, not that it means anything, do go for Toxic on Duosion. I have no idea why. If anything, it works out for me because then they can't put me to sleep or paralyze me. But in any case, I am gonna be forced down to my choice Seismitoad. I am gonna predict the switch into Cacturne, so I'm gonna go for the Toxic, as he does end up going out into his Cacturne. So I nailed that on the switching, as I'm just gonna switch out to my Mawile just to get off an Intimidate, as he is gonna go for the Sword Dance. Now I still don't want to take a +1 attack. If he gets a crit, he could potentially knock me out, so gonna Death Fodder my Seismitoad right here. That way I can go right back out into my Mawile and pretty much have him be at neutral attack because of the Intimidate. And at this range of HP, I can definitely take any hit he wants to go for because he does not pack the Drain Punch. Seed Bomb is going to get a crit, not going to be able to take me out. I am going to be able to finish him off with the Iron Head, and he's going to be down to his last Pokemon, which is his Bastiodon. Now I am just going to go for the Iron Head just to pretty much not finish him off, but I am going to pull a Flinch, which does not matter at all because Duosion or Mawile either would have finished off his Bastiodon. So he's actually going to end up forfeiting. That was a pretty good game, No Blues. Guys, if you enjoyed, feel free to leave a like. And I guess you can swing by my channel if you want and drop a sub. So until next time, later.